Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Wednesday, October 25th.
Over 20 years, the revenue has only grown by about $2 million.
That's why Flagler County Emergency Management Director Jonathan Lord is calling for a Florida Department revenue audit of the Emergency Management Preparedness Assistance and Trust Fund. He recently made his appeal to lawmakers on the State House Selection Committee.
The EMPA was created back in 1994, is solely funded by a small surcharge on certain homeowner, renter, and commercial property insurance policies. When I say small, it's $2 on residential policies, $4 on commercial policies. With the significant residential and commercial growth seen in our state over the last 20 years, one would expect that Revenue's Trust Fund would have grown in a similar fashion.
In addition, Lord is calling for more funding for emergency management programs.
County emergency management programs have all been receiving the same $105,806 for over 20 years. As we all know, $105,000 in 2002 does not have the same purchasing power as it does today.
In addition, Lord wants to see the My Safe Florida home program that's focused on wind damage be replicated to focus on flood damage. Lord also asked lawmakers to consider disaster shelter options outside of schools.
Our population continues to rapidly grow, but that growth is disproportionately made up of senior citizens. In most communities where growth is spread across all ages, you'll see a proportionate increase in new school facilities, built to new building codes, which then can be used to house evacuees. Unfortunately, in communities like ours, our population continues to grow, our need to house evacuees continues to grow, but we aren't seeing the same growth in capable school facilities. The best way we could address this deficit would be for the county to build a multi-purpose facility whose primary function would be to serve as a hurricane special needs shelter.
This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. Flagler County's unemployment rate is heading in the wrong direction.
Flagler County's unemployment rate increased for the sixth consecutive month to 4%, according to the September 2023 data released from Florida Commerce, up from 3.9% in August. Greg Blase, President and CEO of the Palm Coast Flagler Regional Chamber of Commerce, has more of an explanation.
We haven't seen a 4% unemployment rate in Flagler County since November of 2021. So it's been quite some time that our economy has been running way higher, stronger, and faster than we've expected. And so to see an unemployment rate at 4% is not the end of the world. It doesn't mean there's a crisis on the horizon, but it is an indicator of economic health.
However, Blase adds Flagler County does have 136 fewer residents employed month over month. This is generally the time of the year local hiring begins to slow down as the peak annual tourism season is now past. The Flagler County labor force is reported at 53,462 residents. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
It was a difficult day for a tour.
Flagler County School Board member Will Furry said that seeing that building in Parkland was difficult.
We started at the door that he entered, and he actually entered through a side door. He was dropped off by an Uber, hid the gun inside of a guitar case. That's how he disguised it. When he got in the building, there was one student that walked in and saw him, and he said to that student, "You better get out of here. Something bad's about to happen."
Furry said that they were told on the tour that that's when the student ran to notify authorities on campus.
At that time, he just took out the gun and started walking down the hall and started shooting. So there were several that were shot in the hallway, and unfortunately, the doors to some of the classrooms were locked. So those that were in the hallway could not get back into the class. They had nowhere to go.
Furry said that the tour was based on the camera footage from that day in 2018 when 17 students and faculty at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School were shot and killed. Listen to Today with Pastor Jay on WNZF Sunday mornings at 8 or on the Flagler radio app. Tomorrow, Max Shackler leads the tour through Marjorie Stoneman Douglas at Parkland. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
The 6th annual Taste of the Fun Coast was held last night at the Hammock Beach Resort, and it was the biggest one yet, raising more money than it did last year for the University of Florida's Whitney Laboratory Sea Turtle Hospital. Kat Eastman is the hospital's program manager.
This fundraiser, it brings in a lot of money for us, and we are on a shoestring budget, and we're a lean, mean team, and I have to tell you that the community support from this event is incredible.
Audio courtesy of Flagler News Weekly. Taste of the Fun Coast featured a selection of fine wines and spirits and dining from locally renowned restaurants. And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.